We have Mr. Christian Knoop from IWC joining us today. So, Christian, what is the watch? Which is the watch that you're wearing today?
Welcome to our booth here at Watches and Wonders in Geneva. We are presenting actually two collections, the Pilots collection, which we present in a small capsule, and some interesting additions to our Ingenieur collection. And the one I'm wearing today is the Ingenieur Automatic 42 in black ceramic.
Ingenieur Automatic. You know, I went through the collection and I am completely in awe of a piece which was black and gold of Pilots collection, Pilots edition.
Yes.
I think it was something Chronograph, but I'm not very sure. So if you could tell us a little bit more about
You're
that.
absolutely right. I mean, we are presenting a capsule collection on our Pilots, which is inspired by Formula One, the movie. We are official partner of that movie coming to the theaters in June.
Okay.
And in this Formula One movie, produced by famous names like Jerry Bruckheimer as a producer, but also Joe Kosinski as a director, they are presenting a fictional Formula One team called the Apex GP team.
Okay.
We, as IWC, are sponsor of that fictional Apex GP team, featuring the IWC logo on the cars, on the livery, and so on. But this also inspired a capsule collection, as I said, featuring the team colors, which is black, gold, and white. So we created 5 pieces with this color scheme, and one of the most interesting pieces, you're absolutely right, is the Performance Chronograph in 5 and gold.
Oh, it's called Performance Chronograph. You're right. I was trying to recall that, It's a black and gold. And
Yes.
I think it is, I don't remember the diameter again. If you could tell us how big.
No, it's a 41mm 5 and gold case featuring a black ceramic bezel.
Okay.
We have a black high gloss dial with
Yes.
beautiful detailing, golden appliques, combination of white and gold print. And this product comes with our manufacturer movement, sapphire glass back, and on rubber straps with a typical IWC Ease exchange system.
You know, IWC has such a rich history and heritage, and also very strong design, right? Historically, it's the design which is so very, I would say, identified when it is an IWC watch. How do you meet up with this today's age, which is all about innovation, different materials, and you're balancing both the design, innovation, and techniques? How do you manage to do that?
You're absolutely right. IWC Schaffhausen stands for a very particular approach in watchmaking, combining engineering and craftsmanship. And we have put a lot of effort over the last couple of years also to sharpen our positioning in the world of watch brands, which you see all around us. And we believe that with this engineering and pure design approach, we are having very differentiating values, but this also leads to a very differentiating corporate design and aesthetic environment we are presenting here at the fair.
Actually, I request your comments on it. But most of the watches are downsizing the sizes, and IWC again is known for a bold and a bigger size. Do you comment on it?
Yeah, the biggest sizes are rooted in our DNA as watchmaker. IWC started with pocket watches and gained a great reputation for very robust and accurate movements in the early 20th century. And this also led to instrument watches, partly also military watches produced by IWC. And this instrument aesthetic, combining a large and robust movement with a very clean case design and a very readable dial, are still the essence of everything we do. This is why we find these large diameters and this pure dial design in all the collections like Pilots, Portugueses, Portofinos, and even Ingenieur. So that's a very important aspect in our DNA to have a large diameter. However, the market is going towards smaller diameters, and we have presented in the last couple of years already initiatives and products on all collection, opening up also the portfolio towards smaller diameters. In Portofino, we go down to 34 millimeters. In pilots, we have 36 millimeters. We have recently launched a big pilot, 43. Yes. On Portuguesa, we go down to 40 millimeters with our automatic. And now this year with the Ingenieur, we are opening up this collection down to a variable size of 35 millimeters.
So downsizing of the dial is something which is happening, and you agree on that?
We are complementing the collection. It's not that everything gets smaller. We still have the majority of our watches in large diameters, which is part of our culture and brand. But I mean, we have opened up the collections and the offer, so you can now get an IWC in whatever family and look you like in a more variable size, also embracing more female buyers and encouraging them to buy IWC.
Year after year, you are already working for your, say maybe today we are in 2025, you're already working and thinking for 2027. Then, how do you find that right design and the decision that we will focus on this collection, not on Portuguese, maybe Portofino, we will focus only on Ingenieur and focus in this year for this? How do you decide that?
Yeah, I mean, there's sometimes various factors. I mean, we work on all of the families in parallel in our design and R&D teams in Schaffhausen. So in the end, when we launch what product also depends a little bit on development pipelines for movements, for particular materials. And we also want to align this also with other engagements. For example, this year when we have Formula One, the movie coming out, so it was clear we are part of that movie, so we have to find the right pieces in the collection that go along with this activation. So, but in fact we have changed what we did many years ago, that we put the focus on one collection per year. Okay. Renewing the entire collection. So now we go with much more selective novelties on various collections balanced over the entire year. So what we see this year is a couple of references on pilots, a couple of references on Ingenieur, but is not replacing the existing products in the pilots collection or the Ingenieur collection.
Is there a favorite watch within the collection that you have this year?
Yeah, for me, it's always tough to pick a favorite. I mean, we worked hard on this entire collection over the last 2 to 3 years, and then in the end to say, okay, that's a favorite. I can only tell that I was personally very much motivated to bring the 35mm size to the Ingenieur collection. We've been working on this for a very long time. Okay. So I'm proud to see this coming to life. I personally like a lot the black ceramic on the Ingenieur. Yes. But I mean, it's hard to pick individual favorites.
And when you were downsizing this Ingenieur particular one, which you're mentioning about 35mm, is there a challenging moment which you must have faced during that process of designing that watch?
Yeah, I mean, most people imagine that scaling watches up and down is just a scaling in the computer design software, putting a different scaling factor. But in fact, it's a very very challenging process. To create the space for different type of movement. Correct. Which results in different proportions. But also then if you just bring down the diameter, you can't scale all elements at the same rate. Because if you would do that, you would also change the character of the product and lose a bit the recognizability. For example, if you would have scaled down the 40mm Ingenieur to 35, the bezel would be much thinner what it is now, or the hands would be much thinner than what they are now. So in the scaling process, it's very important to balance the elements individually to maintain the same product product impact in the same presence on the wrist.
So in your career, what has been whenever you have technically designed a watch and engineered the watch, which has been the most challenging moment with a watch that you can never ever forget?
No, I think there is not a particular moment, but I mean, we as designers are typically very impatient, and we work many years ahead. And we want to see stuff coming to life immediately. And sometimes for us as designers, it causes a certain level of frustration to see things taking 2, 3, 5 years to come to the market. And that's hard to wait that long when you think, okay, the work has been done, we have a fantastic design. Sometimes also we see other competitors coming up with things, so you sit there and say, okay, we would be ready, but we don't have a tested and produced product yet.
That's true. Actually, there's so much that goes into the making of the watch that eventually the customer knows, but the wait, sometimes customers have to wait for the watches, but the wait is worth it because there's so much that goes into making of that particular timepiece.
Yeah,
it's not
definitely
easy at all.
Yeah.
As you rightly said, downsizing also is not simple.
No, but what we have achieved this time is that we have done our homework, that we have also pre-produced quantities of the novelties that have reached the point of sale on Tuesday. So we are presenting here and have the product available at right the same time, right the same moment out there in our boutiques and stores worldwide. And this is a major achievement of the entire team working in the background, not only creating a beautiful product, but also having a technical, reliable product and to secure sufficient quantities for sales.
Fabulous. Thank you so much.